What is up? All right, StreamYard just got 64 people. It went from 2 to 64, and for some reason, it looks like we're only going to one location.
Okay.
Not really sure what the hell, but whatever. Whatever. Usually we broadcast to multiple locations to get this information out there, but for some reason, not. I see Jordan Monroe and KB32. We're going to be talking about some new rules that are dropping today. But first, if you want, you can vote for me for top 2A writer. I got a story coming up this tomorrow. Then I got another one about some FBI leaks.
Wait, on the Gundies, you mean, right?
On the Gundies, yeah. But then I have it. But let's just get into this. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. I have not seen this out there. And F the government for making me do this while I'm sick at home. Yes, I am sick at home. This is an AG order here. And right now, we are going to actually, let's share this instead. We're going to share this one instead here because this is the announcement. I will blow it up for you, Rich. So this is a new rulemaking proposal that came out of nowhere, and we're going to be talking about the possibilities. So
the Justice Department today announced it has submitted to the Federal Registry 2 notices of proposed rulemaking. NPRM, that is finalized. It will fully implement the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, blah, the most significant gun safe, blah. The following language of the BCSA, the Firearm Handlers Rule, proposes that federal firearms licensees, such as FFLs, gun stores, be allowed to use National Instant Background Check System to voluntarily conduct employment background checks for certain employees. Current NICS regulations prohibit FFLs from initiating background checks for any purpose other than the transfer of firearms. Under the Firearm Handlers NPRM, FFLs will be permitted to request NICS background checks for current or prospective employees who may handle firearms, ammunition, related materials. The Firearm Handlers Rule NPRM details the scope of employees eligible for background checks as well as new NICS statuses proposed for such checks. The NPRM, known as the Under 21 Rule, would codify enhanced NICS background checks procedures for prospective firearms purchasers under 21 years of age. Among the changes under the BCSA, NICS is required to conduct enhanced background checks for such under 21 purchasers by contacting certain state and local entities to determine that if a juvenile record, such as a criminal conviction or mental health record, may qualify or may disqualify, the purchaser from possessing a firearm. The FBI began processing these enhanced checks in late 2022 and has denied nearly 1,000 transactions solely because of enhanced outreach. And probably most of them were inaccurate.
We're not going to read this whole thing because it's kind of long. But this is the rule right here that is being submitted here. They are taking comments from the public. This is putting into effect. Well, what they are claiming is that they are putting into effect what they were given the authority to do under the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which some people said was not a big deal. And now we are seeing that it is a big deal because they are using that as a justification to pass or put into place these rules.
It was a Trojan horse, basically.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's no big deal." It's like, yeah, it is a big deal. Anytime you get any type of gun control, it's a big deal.
Well,
And people
the Safer
are
Communities Act basically was like a resolution. It didn't have any, statute in it, basically.
yeah, this is them putting those in. Um, so these are the rules right here. They are going up for public comment any day now. It usually takes about a week for them to get up, and then they will be open for public comment. There's two of them here, the under 21 and the background checks for employees that they had to go through next. But the thing is, the comment period is probably going to last a few weeks. And then, you usually have a time period for them to come back with the final rule. This is a proposed rule right here. So this is a proposed rule. Here, this is not a final rule.
Mm-hmm.
After that, then by the time it gets to the final rule, Trump will be in the office, and there will be a good chance of us killing it off before it goes into effect. But the thing is that the person that Trump has nominated for head of DOJ is not exactly a pro-gun person.
Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi, yep.
So Florida AG and former Florida AG.
Former Florida AG, yeah.
And so she was pro red flag laws, all of that.
And this is the one dealing with enhanced background checks for people under 21. But they are not claiming Chevron because they can't. They are claiming that the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act give them the power to do this.
The BCSA is how they're getting it.
Correct. And I saw this earlier on. I figured someone else was going to do a story on it, and I could just lay in bed because I'm kind of under the weather. But that didn't exactly work out the way I wanted it to work out. And it also talks about executive orders. Read this executive order.
Executive Order 13132, Federalism. The proposed rule may have effects on the states to the extent state entities respond to NICS inquiries during research of a pending transaction. Any such effects, however, will only an indirect result of this rule, because state entities may freely choose whether to respond to such NICS inquiries. In addition, such effects will not be substantial, nor will such effects concern the relationship between the federal government and the states or distribution of power and responsibilities among the various levels of government. Therefore, in accordance with Section 6, Executive Order 13132, Attorney General has determined that the proposed rule does not have sufficient federalism implications to warrant the preparation of Federalism Summary Impact Statement. Executive Order 12988, Civil Justice Reform.
Yeah, that executive order was actually executive order by Bill Clinton, and the second executive order is. I was a member on this channel. Thank you, Kurt24.
Kurt the man.
15 months. So yeah, that is definitely interesting. And there were a lot of people talking about Chevron, and like I said, they are claiming this is not Chevron, and the rules have no backing of law. They are claiming that is not the case in this because the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act issued them the power to do this. So they're saying that it does have the backing of law because the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act gave them the power to do this. So they're getting around both of those.
Wow.
So they're stating that because the way the rulemaking process is supposed to be is you're not supposed to be able to make rules and basically to get around the congressional power of making law unless unless Congress gives you the authority to make those rules. And they're stating that Congress gave them the authority to make those rules.
Ding, ding, ding.
So the people who know who you are said, "Oh, the Bipartisan Safe Community Act isn't a big deal." Blah blah blah. Guess what? It is. Everything that we said that was going to happen is happening.
That's pretty crazy, and pretty devious on their end. That's really, I would say, severe dirtbag territory.
Yeah. So, and both executive orders that they reference are Clinton executive orders.
And I'm dropping the link for the Gundies.
Well, thank you. So that is what it is. It's not a big deal. It's not a super huge deal because they're already doing that, but they're just codifying into code through the rules. They're saying that they're updating their rules to be compliant with the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which I do not think that they should.
Yep.
And like I said, they're not claiming Chevron, so the Chevron challenge will be out of the question. And an APA challenge. The reason why I think that they are specifically referencing the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act is because that
bypasses Chevron.
Well, no, that bypasses. I mean, that can be a defense to a APA challenge. Because an APA challenge, you can challenge it on the agency does not have the authority to pass this. Only Congress can pass a law, and they are trying to pass a de facto law. But since they're stating the law that Congress gave them the authority to do this under the BSCA, they are stating that they do have the power to do that, and therefore not a violation of the APA. That's the Administrative Procedures Act. It's the act like pistol braces and frames and receivers. Those have all been knocked down, not because of Second Amendment issues, but because of APA violations. Engaged in the business, another one, APA violation. That is a case that Rich and I are involved in.
And dark.
And dark, yeah, and dark too. So that's what they are doing. So that is what is going on here. When the comment section opens up, I hope all of you will make a comment, because remember, when this actually gets written, it's not going to be written by Garland and his henchmen. It'll be written by Bondi and her henchmen. Whether they'll be any better or not, it remains to be seen. But we do have a lot more input and a lot more power with the Trump administration than other administrations. That's all I'm saying. But we do have some sway that we might be able to use. And the more comments we get, the more powerful that sway will become.
Wow. Yeah, just dirty tricks. It's continuous dirty tricks.
Yeah, he could order the DOJ to drop it, and that's what we are hoping to do. But the more and more comments that we get on it, the easier it will be for that. Yeah, bump stock Trump. He did do the Trump thing, the bump stock thing. Hopefully he learns from his mistakes. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm more confident of us having power with Trump in there than with a Harris.
For sure.
Because no matter what the comments say, no matter how much pressure we put, if it was Harris in there, we would have no chance. So we'll have to see.
And I think what's very important is we got to remind people they can vote every day for John Crump on the Gundies.
Yeah, top 2A writer. Yeah, I have some like an article coming out about a story I broke in 2019 that I have more information on, more information that has not been seen. You're gonna have to wait and see.
Well, okay then.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I'm kind of under the weather. That's why you haven't heard from me too much today. So we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, and remember to vote. Oh, look at that! Rich posted it in there. Top 2A writer. Check me out at Amaland. Yes, and with that, there's also some other good people out there to vote for. For example, Jordan Vinro, who is out there.
Gideon Optics.
Gideon Optics is nominated for most for like emerging brands. We have a lot of friends that are nominated for that category.
UA Boys. I'm sorry, not emerging brand.
Yeah, Paul from Legally Armed America, 2A EDU are both nominated for Top Voice of the 2A. Jared's not nominated for King of the Hill. Eric from Ivy 88 is nominated for Top Gun Reviewer. There's a lot of good people nominated, and it just helps to get a little bit of positive feedback every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
With that, we are out of here. So
and the crawl on the bottom, gravy gets you 10% off anything at definitionknives.com and free shipping.
All right, well, that's cool. All right, and we'll see you guys later.